Folks often complain about the NES having a lot of bad games. And yeah, they're not all home runs, okay? Folks also say that many NES games are way too hard. And you know what I say to that? I say yeah, quite a few are pretty dang hard. NES games can be bad and they can be hard, but rarely ever do bad and hard overlap in such a needlessly brutal way as in the NES port of Don Bluth's Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair was an arcade wonder, a cartoon you could control with beautiful hand-drawn animation, a fun story, and a unique control style that made it a must-play experience for many arcade goers of the day. It was so popular it got ported all over the place, and it ended up in places it didn't need to be. At the time, only the high-end technology that the Laserdisc could provide made it a suitable experience, not the NES. On the NES, the QuickTime event inputs integral to advancing the fun narrative of the original was replaced with a side-scrolling action-adventure. It resembles Dragon's Lair, but it's not at all what Bluth intended it to be. And you ought to know, Don Bluth animated some important hallmarks of my childhood, like All Dogs Go to Heaven, Land Before Time, The Secret of Nim, and An American Tail. So, let's see what's up with Dragon's Lair on the NES.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has enchanted it with treacherous monsters and obstacles. In the mysterious caverns below the castle, your odyssey continues against the awesome forces that oppose your efforts to reach the Dragon's Lair. Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Visually, the graphics are good enough for you to recognize it as Dragon's Lair. It even animates well. The main character, Dirk, has a pep in his step and the enemies all appear suitably evil. Not bad at first blush, but man, it gets rough quick. The game is infamous for having one of the most unforgiving introductions in all of video games. Getting past the initial bout with the Moat Dragon is an achievement on its own without even considering there's a lot more game to go. You'll die by falling through the bridge. You'll then die by falling through the other part of the bridge. You'll die by being freaked out by the dragon and falling through the bridge while retreating from it. You'll retreat and then get shot in the back for a one-hit kill by the dragon. You'll die trying to figure out where to hit the dragon with your dagger throws. You'll die after you defeat the dragon and try to make it across the bridge again. You'll make it across the bridge finally and then get startled by a late arriving bat swooping in and then fall backward off the bridge only to fight the dragon all over again. At least here, when you get a game over, you're not having to redo anything because you haven't done anything yet. Dirk feels like you're controlling a senior citizen stuffed with helium. He's floaty when he jumps, but takes forever to articulate into a crouch or stand upright. It's a try and die game. Dragon's Lair is beatable, obviously, but it's the kind of game that will require every ounce of dedication, patience, and memorization you can muster, mixed in with a little luck for good measure. Your patience will be tested. Snakes pop out of walls, random ghosts appear out of nowhere, and moving platforms don't actually move you. That's right, if you step on a platform that's moving, you slide off of it like motor oil on a conveyor belt. You either have to leap off it or keep walking in pace with it. You'll bonk your head and fall down holes. You'll duck when you should have jumped and jump when you should have ducked. And oh, are you wanting off of this elevator? Too bad. If the elevator is moving when you jump, or if it starts moving while you're in the air, you die. You die, die, die. Not to mention, the game teases you by being a punishing maze of sorts. There is no indication on which floor you should leave the elevator, and if you're like me and tried to jump off the elevator already, only to die because you didn't time it right, maybe you thought you were supposed to just ride it to wherever it stops. Big mistake. The floors are intended to take you to specific levels of the game, so at the first elevator, one stop takes you back outside the castle somehow. One takes you to the beginning of the level you just finished. One takes you to an area that traps you in a battle with a ghost you cannot kill but must escape without it touching you. And finally, one of the floors is the next level you're supposed to go to. Good luck guessing which one that is. There are no signs or hints, and they are not in any meaningful order. If you survived the level and got to an elevator only to get off on the wrong floor, which basically ends the game for you, or makes you do what you just did all over again, how you feeling about that? Not great. That's how. And there's not just one elevator. There's an elevator after each level, meaning each time you feel you've succeeded, you have to follow that up with a game of Russian elevator roulette, or Roulette-ivator, if you will. There are 7 total areas. The initial drawbridge is considered one whole area by itself, spread across 4 total levels. A skilled player can finish the game in 15 to 20 minutes, so there's not a lot of game here. But what is here is hateful. The bosses are probably the easiest part of the game. They have distinct patterns, and you don't have to jump on platforms to kill them. It's all about dodging what they shoot at you while you shoot them back. Even the final boss isn't so bad if you have the axe. If you don't have the axe, well, you're toast. But it's the levels themselves that are the real kickers. You can upgrade your dagger to a throwing axe or fireballs, both of which are superior to the dagger, and you'll want to hold on to those whenever possible, and dodge the other dagger pickups if you can. Ammo is infinite, thank goodness. The worst level though is the final one, where these dragon hatchlings shoot fireballs while flying right at you and kill Dirk immediately. The first one comes at you so fast upon entering the level that I would bet a bunch of my own baby dragons that 100% of people who made it to this level for the first time died to that very first dragon baby before they knew what happened. You only get 5 lives to start, and you can find extras along the way, but there are no continues or passwords or anything remotely resembling forgiveness. 5 lives to make it through all this. If you're feeling particularly masochistic, you can learn it. I'm proud to say I've even made it through the first couple of levels without dying myself, but I'm not sure I'm proud of the time I spent to get that far, and you won't find that on my LinkedIn. My favorite part of the manual is the first page that says, if you play for long periods of time, take a 10 to 15 minute break every hour or so. If you're fortunate enough to have fun with this game beyond the 15-minute mark, I say take an hour break. You've deserved it. You can even take turns with another player in 2-player mode if you're looking to ruin a night with a close friend. You want some story to go with your Dragon's Lair? Of course you do. The story of the game is pretty basic and mirrors the story of the original. It's a regular old damsel rescue mission. You're Dirk the Daring, and you need to rescue Princess Daphne, who somehow ended up in the depths of the dark and deadly castle of Mordroc, an evil wizard with a stinky pet dragon named Singe. Good luck. Again, Dragon's Lair was ported all over the place. DOS, 8-bit computers, the 3DO, the Super Nintendo, Sega CD, on and on and on and on. As recently as 2019, the game was even made available on the Switch and Xbox One. Each version from back in the day looks and plays differently, some having entirely unique levels and set pieces not found in the original. The modern ports have been truer to the arcade quick-time event hand-drawn animated masterpiece the game was intended to be. If you're looking for that experience, I'd recommend getting one of those modern versions for sure. Well, that's going to do it for Dragon's Lair on the NES. As always, take the stairs. And thanks for watching.